Greatness suggests that you take chances, let people know who you are, show your face, turn on your camera, let people know you're here. You're here to make an impact, leave a footprint, and help people. It's going to be a great time together tonight. We'll get started in just a few minutes here. You got a few minutes left before we get started. We're admitting people as we speak. You can go from there. Who else we have? 16 so far. 16 people probably come on the next 2-3 minutes here.
This is John from down here in Roll Tide, Alabama.
Roll Tide, Alabama. Welcome, sir.
Kathy Joel, Houston, Texas.
H-Town, welcome. Welcome. Heard it's been chilly down there.
Oh, you see my hat?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
What up, Pete? This is Calvin from San Jose.
The great Calvin, everybody. Welcome, brother. Coast to coast here tonight. East Coast, West Coast. See some more people coming in. California, while we're waiting, saying prayers for all the people in California. I live in Southern California as well. Quite a bit of Southern California is on fire right now. So we pray for those people, and that God would bless them with their food and their homes and just their mental capacity going through a lot of things like this. So we've seen that. We've seen hurricanes in Florida, freezing in Texas, all kinds of stuff, blackouts, all these different things that happen. But when your house gets burned to the ground, that's on a whole nother level. So our hearts go out to those people.
This is Edgar Brown from Maryland.
Welcome. Money Making Maryland. Welcome. Money Making Maryland, right there.
Great evening, Carla Wynn in Maryland.
See, there's another one. Welcome, Carla.
Robert Reed, Michigan.
There we go. Michigan.
Margaret Packer, Maryland.
Okay. MJ. Yeah, bring it. East Coast.
This is Emma Artist of Virginia, the DMV area.
DMV. Awesome. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Folks, that's the great thing about what we do is we can be anywheres and do what we do.
Emma Artist, the DMV area.
Awesome. Not tied down to anything, folks. We can do this from anywhere in the world. So if you're getting on for the first time tonight,
Lisa from Southern California.
Southern California. Welcome, Lisa. It's 5:01. We'll get just a couple more. Say that one more time.
Leroy from St. Louis.
St. Louis. Welcome, sir.
Alejandro Amigón from Puerto Rico.
Eso es todo, hermano.
Jeremy Dennis, Festus, Missouri.
Missouri. Jeremy, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Don't be shy, folks. Come on. Make sure your camera's on if you can do that. Sometimes you can't. If you're driving, if you can, turn that camera on.
Ignacio, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. Brother Ignacio. Good to see you, brother.
Rod Obie in the DMV.
Oh, keep the DMV. Awesome, sir.
Ruben from Denver.
Denver, Colorado. Great.
Hey, Pete. Coffee worldwide.
Yeah. What's popping?
What's
I got it right.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. What's popping?
I'm a good listener. All right.
Andy, Houston, Texas.
H-Town again. Let's go. Welcome.
Roberto from Rancho Cucamonga.
Yes, Southern California. Welcome, Roberto. Nice to see
Thank
you.
you, sir. Nice to see you.
Roxy from El Segundo, California.
Roxy, welcome. Our superstars have entered the building.
Thank you.
Awesome. Almost that time, folks. We'll probably give it one more minute. Again, we want to start on time, respect people's time. For our guests tonight, make sure you have a pen and a pad, something to write with. And we'll go from there. You're going to want to take some good notes. Let's see.
What's going on, Pete? We got Mark Stewart from Los Angeles in the building.
Good to see you, Mark. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Philip from Jacksonville, Florida.
Philip, I remember you. Yes, sir. Welcome. One of the great things, folks, as we're waiting last minute here to get started, one of the great things they're going to find out is that people come together, they learn with each other, they grow with each other, and you have the ability tonight to do that with the person that invited you. They are not by themselves. They have an army of people with them here live to make this happen, right? And so we can help and support people around the country, pretty much around the world, but let's just say around the country right now. And the bottom line is the person who invited you tonight is showing you something that's bigger than all of us put together. So this is going to be a great time, and I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds, and I'm going to introduce our first speaker for the evening. 3 more people have entered. So I'll keep
Hey,
pressing that
Gabby
button for a
Tobe,
second.
Orlando, Florida.
Gabby, good to see you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. As people keep joining, I believe somebody will keep hitting that and allow them to come on and go from there. But again, my name is Pete Abraham. I live in Southern California. I love being a part of this movement. I love the culture here. But I'm going to get out of the way tonight and let our first speaker talk. This gentleman here is on the other side of the country. I'm on the West Coast. He's from the East Coast, and we have no beef. We love each other. We get along great. We've done many things together. And I'll tell you, he's got about 8 years in the solar industry. Solar is one of the things we do, but 8 years in the industry. And I can tell you something. I'm just going to keep it low key here. Bottom line is, I watched this guy go from somebody who I thought was really shy to becoming a total leader, seeing what he's done, seeing as he helps people. He won a couple awards from day one in what we do. He's one of our top mentors as well. Some of you have probably put some information online in the WhatsApp group saying what a great job he's done, how he's helped your people. And I couldn't think of a better person to kick it off tonight. And let me just say this. This guy is a man of quality. I watched him bring his mother with him from the East Coast to one of our events out here. And I got to tell you, if I had a son, I would love to have a son like him. This guy's respectful. He wants to help. He makes his mama proud. So with that, I'm going to bring onto the stage tonight for you all and put some ones in the chat because this guy's going to blow it up here. Mr. Idris Alaka, are you here, sir?
Yes, sir. Mr. Abrams, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. It's all yours.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we go ahead and get started, I just want to say thank you once again to Mr. Abrams here for that amazing introduction. And as we go ahead and get this call started, as he mentioned, didn't go into too much detail about how we know each other, but we actually met a few years ago in a prior business, and he was actually one of the solar leaders that I was actually looking up to. So from those few years and before in the past to now, once again, I definitely appreciate everything you've done, everything you bring to the table, and everything we're going to do collectively in the future as well. So I greatly appreciate that. So ladies and gentlemen, as we go ahead and get started, once again, just want to say welcome to our Tuesday night showcase, business showcase, as we go over some powerful information. So if you haven't already done so, you definitely want to make sure you have a pen and a piece of paper just to jot down some notes. But as Mr. Abrams mentioned, my name is Idris Alaka. I've been in the industry for quite some time now, and really was looking for something, really looking for an opportunity that I could sink my teeth in, that I could really take advantage of. And this is exactly what I'm going to go over and get a chance to show you guys tonight as well. So let's go ahead and jump into that, right? And just let me know if you guys can see everything here on the screen. All right, give me 1 second. Perfect. All right, someone give me a thumbs up real quick. Perfect. Yeah, so tonight we're talking about BYLD Network. And I love this because once again, we're talking about building your mindset, right? Before we do anything else, we want to talk about building the mindset first and foremost. Building your business, right? Whether this is a full-time or part-time thing, but also building your net worth, right? In addition to building your network as well, right? So let's talk a little bit about, what we are and what we do, right? So we actually partake in the high-ticket industry, right? And we actually run and build a high ticket brokerage with literally 4 different verticals of earning income. Now that's huge because this is something that I've never actually seen before. I've heard and I've been a part of other high ticket situations, but being in a situation where you can actually have 4 high ticket businesses that you can leverage for services and products that people need and use on a day-to-day basis just makes total sense, right? So why build a business? And the reality is no one's coming to save you. In today's economy, things are literally happening every day. The things are changing every day as well. And entrepreneurship used to be one of those things, right? Working from home used to be one of those things, but in today's day and age, it's a must, right? People are looking to add a secondary income to what they are already doing every day. And we'll touch a little bit more about that. Before we do, though, let's talk about the current situation that most people, I was going to say Americans, but most people around the world are actually in, right? And a complete bunch of financial issues, right? So we're talking about debt, right? We're talking about people being laid off every single day. We're talking about inflation going through the roof, higher taxes, high interest rates, bankruptcies, recessions, job displacement. All of these things are taking place every single day to average people, all across the world, right? And my question is, what do people have to combat that? What do people have to kind of, be on the offensive side of life instead of being on the defensive side, right? So here's what most people turn to, right? Most people turn to the gig economy and they do things like Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. As people look for other opportunities, flexible opportunities to earn an income, this is what some people turn to, and that makes total sense. But here's the reality, right? If you haven't already seen here, one of the most sought out phrases on Google, right, is how to start a business, how to start a business online, how to start a business from home, right? These are topics that are searched every single day, right? And I want you to think about that for a second, because this is what we actually do. This is what we actually bring to people on a day-to-day basis, right? I'll just take a pause here and stop. I want you to think about this. I've never really been a part of or heard about an opportunity where someone can actually make a 6-figure income, right? Without necessarily, being the best salesperson in the world, right? Or without being the best recruiter in the world, but can still make a 6-figure income. Or if not a 6-figure income, a strong 5-figure income, for the year or per month, right? So I'll get a little bit, we'll talk a little bit about that in later on, but let's just continue, right? So what to look for in a business, right? Industries with big target markets, right? But low penetration. And that phrase right there is literally what got me into this industry a few years ago, right? The big target market, the fact that most people need what we have, but they don't even know about it. But let me move on to essential goods and services, right? So gas, electricity, water, right? How many people use gas, not pass gas, right? But how many people use gas every day to cook, right? To heat up their homes, right? Everybody, right? How many people use electricity every single day, right? To turn on your lights, right? For your refrigeration. How many people drink water every day? Right now, unfortunately, everyone's not raising their hand, but you should be, right? But the reality is, people want to be drinking healthy, alkaline water as well, and that's what we have. But I'll touch on that in a second. But industries that thrive in good and or bad economies, all right? And once again, here's the reality, right? If things get rough and things get tough, right? Are you not paying your electricity bill? No, you're paying your electricity bill, right? Right? If things get tough, are you not going to pay that gas bill? No, right? Do you need water in the house to take showers? Of course. So these are all services that, once again, an average homeowner can take advantage of, whether good times or bad times, right? But let's talk a little bit about the services that we have and offer to our clients. So first and foremost, with Encore Solar and Freedom Forever, that's our solar division, right? Freedom Forever being the #1 installer in the country and still expanding. We're not even done yet, right? Soon, probably by this time next year, we'll be in all 50 states, being able to help clients all over the country and in Puerto Rico as well. That's huge, right? So that's our solar division, right? And just to touch, to get to the point with this, right? Someone can actually join our business, and for every homeowner, for every household that they help reduce their electricity bill, can earn anywhere between $6,000 to $10,000 per household helped, right? Per electricity bill that they helped save money on. That's huge. In addition to that, we have our home security division, right? Where we have ADT, a well-known household name, in addition to Brinks, right? So these are names in the home security industry that people are already familiar with, right? But we have a secret, right? And that secret is called Ripple. And it's coming out literally in the next couple of months now. But that will literally it'll change the world of home security, right? Not only from a security standpoint, but from a financial standpoint as well. But right now, right, we have people working with us that can take advantage and make up to anywhere between $500 to $700 per household that they protect with home security. Absolutely amazing there. And then we also have our Rain H2O. And this is where, once again, we have our water division where we actually offer our clients the best water on planet Earth, right? So just imagine not drinking any of the, I don't want to say dirty stuff, but the dirty stuff, right? And literally drinking purified water, bringing that to not just yourself, but your entire family, right? Every household that you help drink clean water, take showers with clean water, you can make anywhere between 1,000 to 2,100 on average per commission, right? Per household helped. Huge. And this is something that I love and is near and dear to my heart, the Smart Money Club, right? And that's our residual income division, right? So I just want you to think about this. With all of the other areas and all the other divisions that we have in our company, not only are we teaching people how to make the money, but we're also teaching people how to grow the money, how to keep the money, right? How to make better decisions with their taxes, right? How to put people in the right position to, open their businesses beyond BYLD, right? And we're in the right structure, right? Once again, teaching people how to handle and manage their debt, right? These are things that most schools don't teach. Unfortunately, most households don't teach either, right? But we have that here. We can bring that to all of our clients moving forward. So this is absolutely amazing, right? But I just want to talk a little bit about our flagship product and service, and that's solar, right? And this is really what got my attention, right? But I want you to just look at the numbers here, right? We're looking at 130 million homes in the US. Now, that's a lot of homes now, right? With 90 million of them being eligible for solar, right? So every house is not qualified for solar, but 90 million, right? It's not that's a big pool of swimming, right? But with approximately 5 million homes already having solar, right? That leaves us with a market of 85 million homes that are eligible for us, me, you, everybody on this line to talk to. And once again, not sell, right? Not convince, not trick, but help these homeowners save on their electricity costs, right? Every household we help save money, we actually make money back as well, right? It's absolutely amazing. But let's go into a little bit more detail of what your clients would take advantage of when they actually go solar. So we're talking about saving up to 50% on their electricity costs, right? Major. Not having to put any money down, out of pocket. Once again, major. Having access to blackout protection, right? And being in a situation where when the rest of your neighbors, right, when the electricity and grids go down and the wires go off and all of this stuff takes place, Your house is the only one that's lit because you have a blackout protection. Major, right? Getting a chance to take advantage of a 30% federal income tax credit, right? And for some states, it can go up to about 60-70% of tax credits and incentives that homeowners could take advantage of just by going solar. Major, right? Immediate increase to the home value, which is huge. But most importantly, guys, most importantly, clean energy, right? The reality is literally everyone on this line who consults with homeowners to take advantage of solar. We're all like living day superheroes as we're now saving the world, right? We see what's going on, in California. We see what's going on literally all over the world, and it's devastating to see, right? But every household that you help take advantage of a service that we have, you're literally saving the world, right? In 2022, literally someone went solar every 44 seconds. So the vastness of what's taking place and how many people are actually making that switch and making that transition is huge. And we're looking to take advantage of it as well, right? So just to talk a little bit about who we actually partnered up with, right? So it's Freedom Forever, as you can see, and they've actually been on the Inc. 5000 list literally for the last 5 years in a row. So we're not working with some rinky-dink company. We're working with the best of the best, right? In addition to that, one of the major things that separate us, Freedom Forever, from other solar companies and other solar installers is the 25-year production guarantee, right? So while most companies just put warranties on the panels, and that's cool, or I should say that's cute, right? We actually put a 25-year production guarantee on the system, right? So this means that you can help a homeowner go solar and give them and them have the confidence to know that they're going to have electricity for the next 25 years plus. Why? Because there's a guarantee. Right. And in addition to that, right, we're in over 36 states right now and growing. And you guys see the list, and this is a little outdated. So we're in a few more states now. But once again, by the end of next year or by this time next year, we'll probably be in all 50 states, or at least that's the goal. Right. So we're with a company, Freedom Forever, that's looking to grow and expand. While other companies are, downsizing and closing down and restructuring and all of these things, we're actually growing and expanding, right? That's the type of company and the type of, company you want to actually be with, right? So that's major. But, right, what do we see here, right? And as we talked about all of the different, verticals that we're in, I want you to ask yourself, what do you actually see, right? Some may say, I see a community. Some may say I see, a lot of houses. Some may say whatever, right? I see a lot of households that can take advantage of all of our solar, services, right? I see a lot of homes that don't have blackout protection, right? I see a lot of homes that haven't adapted to EV chargers yet, right? I see a lot of homes that don't have clean water coming from their pipes. Right. I see a lot of homes that are unprotected. It's crazy to hear that in California, with all of the chaos going on, that there's so many burglaries still taking place. Right. So home security is a necessity, right, for that, average household. So I see a lot of homes that don't have that. And I hate to say this, but I see a lot of homes that don't have financial education and no financial literacy. Right. And we have literally, everything to offer these homes, as we continue. So let's just give you a few testimonials here, right? Right. We have a customer. Let's say you, right? If you're a guest on the line, let's say you actually referred a client to me, right? And this client happened to live in California and they were paying $287 a month, right? For their electricity costs. Now, this is before solar. Right? You referred them to me. I got a chance to sit down with them virtually, right? And explain how solar works, what the benefits are, and how much money they would save. After us having this conversation, they now realize that they will be saving over $100 a month with solar. Now, once again, think about this. Great situation for the homeowner, right? I'm sure we would all agree. But look at the situation it would be for me and you. right? A $6,400 commission that's split between me, the mentor, and then you, the mentee, right? That's a great deal. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, absolutely. But now let's look at another situation. Let's say, you know what, you got that payout and you felt good about it, and you wanted to refer more business over. So you referred me another client who happened to live in Florida, right? And this, big, beautiful house. And in Florida, there's a lot of sunlight and they use a lot of AC, right? And there's a swimming pool in the picture as well. So there's a lot of electricity being used, right, in this household. So their electricity bill is about $410 a month. We met, we sat, we spoke, we went through everything as far as how they could actually benefit from going solar. And their bill went from 410 to now 290, right? Once again, over $100 a month being saved, right? That's over $1,200 a year being saved. What could the average household do with an extra $1,200? A lot a year, right? They could do a lot of different things. So once again, is this a big value to the homeowner, right? Of course. But look at the value that we actually extract from this, from helping this family go solar, right? An $8,200 commission that gets split 50-50, right? So $4,100 going out to that mentee, another $4,100 going out to the solar specialist who actually helped you close the deal, right? This is absolutely amazing. And just to talk about the 50-50 split, right? I want you to understand, right? The value of you bringing the client to the table is huge, right? Because this is someone that you know, right? That probably knows, likes, and trusts you. So that's valuable, right? And the skill that the mentor, solar mentor brings to the table, as far as their skill set, was also huge as well. But most importantly, it was split 50-50, not 70-30, right? Not, 60-40, 50-50, right? So it's an even deal. It's a beautiful thing, guys, right? But just to understand the electricity cost and how it's going to continue to increase over time, right? So look at, as an example, let's say your electricity cost is roughly about $150 a month today, right? But you see, based on a graph here, in 10 years, that bill is basically going to double. Right? And here's what I really want you to think, because some people look at this and they say, my bill's not going to double in 10 years. It's not going to go up that high, right? Well, here's the real question that I want to ask you. Whether it doubles or not, what control do you have over that bill, right? Can you call up, your utility company and say, you know what, I don't want my electricity rates to go up 6 to 8% this month or this year. I want it to be stable. Right? What do you think they're going to do? They might hang up on you. But my point is that your electricity rates over time are definitely going to go up. And the next 10 years, doubles. You see what happens in 30 years? It literally goes up 10x. It 10x's, right? And this is exactly why homeowners decide to go solar. So if you already know that this is taking place and you already know that you have the solution, once again, 80 to 90% of your family, your friends, your neighbors are going to go solar and take advantage of some of our other products with or without you, and with or without your recommendation, right? So why not get in the way and take advantage of what's going to take place anyway, right? It just kind of makes sense, right? But in addition to that, I want you guys to really understand here, right? Yep. I really want you guys to understand here, right? This is a real career opportunity, right? So for those who are looking at this and saying, you know what, this is something I could do on a part-time basis, or you decide to do a full-time basis, it's great. Some people decide to do it on a spare time basis, and that's great as well, right? But literally 90, I should say, maybe even higher, 95, maybe 98% of all of the solar consultations that we do are virtual, right? So once again, a real opportunity when someone can actually work from home or from their home office or from any office remotely across the world, as Mr. Abrams mentioned earlier, and still be able to make a real income, right? So whether you're making that income from simply referring business over and having a solar specialist close those deals for you, or you decide to become a BYLD mentor and close deals for not just people, not just for yourself, people on your team, but people all over the country, right? That's an option as well. But then you could also be the person who says, you know what, I don't want to sell. I don't know how to sell. I don't like sales. I just want to build a solar team, or I just want to build a team, right? A brokerage, and earn commissions off of everything that they do. I just want to support them to the best of my ability, get them in contact with the right people, and I just want to build a brokerage. My point is that you have the option to do quite a few different things, right? Pick your lane, specialize in it, and once again, have success, right? And, once again, but, I should have mentioned this earlier, but the reality is that it's an honor and a pleasure for me actually to get a chance to, be on a platform and share this platform with this next gentleman, right? And I know you thought I was going to talk about Warren Buffett, but it's actually the next gentleman who's actually going to, share the real money. Before we even talk about Warren Buffett, I want to talk about the gentleman who's going to share the money part, right? And this is actually someone who I have a lot of respect for, known to grow into a friendship with him as well. But most importantly, knows how to make the money, right? He's grown a huge team and a huge organization, literally all over the world, right? But more importantly, he has a heart for people, right? When you get a chance to speak to him, when you get a chance to see and know who he is as a person, not as a businessman, but as a person, you really know that he actually has a heart for his people. Not, I didn't say his team, but I said his people, right? And that's absolutely amazing. If you ever get a chance to hang out with him and go out, you'll also realize that he loves to have a lot of fun, usually the life of the party. And once again, he knows the information. He knows how to, make the money. He knows how to teach how to make the money, and he knows how to teach you and your team grow as well. So without further ado, I want to actually bring up my business partner, my mentor, my sponsor, Mr. Sam Bean. Mr. Bean, are you out there, sir? Mr. Bean, are you out there, sir? All right, let's see. Mr. Bean, are you out there? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Are you good? Yes, sir. Call's yours.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you. I was over here talking and the computer just wanted to do its own thing. But man, I'm excited, man. I get a chance to sit back, relax, and learn a little bit myself because again, you are the solar pro. You've been doing this thing for a long time. And again,
Mr. Bean, I think you muted out.
okay, what about now?
Yep, we're good.
I'll just go without the microphone. Okay, well, great. Well, guys, I appreciate again that awesome introduction. Obviously, Idris and I go way back, and when I say we go back way back, we did commodities together. We sold coffee international together, and he went and followed his passion when it came to solar. And I didn't know that this was going to be an area of interest for me at any point in time in my life, in my career. And actually, I retired at the age of 50 and came out of retirement 3 years later, not because I needed to, not because I was looking, but because I was open. And when I saw this opportunity, it blew me away. And the crazy part about it is when they flew me into California, I got a chance to bump into Idris again, and not knowing that he was going to be there. Again, it just made this movement, all the more special. Be able to do business with your friends, not just your family, but your friends that are family to you. So, again, guys, I'm just gonna say this. He just laid it all out. And one of the questions you always want to ask yourself, outside of the questions that he asked you earlier, was, is this something that people want, need, and can afford? Okay. And is it something that I can do? Is it something that I can sell and offer? Is it something that I can make some money on? And is it something that my friends can do? Right. And when you look at those questions, I want to make sure you answer those questions honestly, right? And because there are a lot of people right now who are, looking for opportunities, but there are a lot of people who need opportunities. And, the one thing I want to share with you guys, my story, my past, when it comes to making money, I went from from a very, very poor place, being, born in poverty, welfare, government housing, all that good stuff, and hand-me-down clothes, all that good stuff, to making seven figures, almost eight in three different industries, respectively. And so, when I look at this and I understand the power of residual income and multiple streams of income, just like, Mr. Abrams said earlier, we give our hearts, our prayers, and our encouragement out to people in California and people who are suffering in other places as well. But how many of you think that, a lot of those people wish that they had a plan B, or a lot of those people wish that they had, residual income coming in? Okay? Think about it for a second. You wake up one morning, not only do you have no house, but you have no job because the company burned down too, right? And, just ask yourself this. I'm going to ask you guys a question. I want to see it in the chat. How many of you believe that, bad or unfortunate things actually happen to good people? Okay? Because they do. They do. It happens every day. A lot of bad things, a lot of unfortunate things happen to good people, and mostly it's good people for a lot of reasons. Being they're just unprepared, right? And they're comfortable, right? And your comfort zone is your disaster zone, right? When you literally put yourself in a position where your job, that one job that you have, is the only source of income that you have, your only means of revenue into your household. At that point in time, you're putting your family's financial future in the hands of that company. Whether it burned down or went out of business, sold out of business, right size, down size, left side, whatever it is, guys, it could be a tragedy for you and your family, right? And I'm a praying man. Right? I'm a believer, and I do believe this though, that my creator and yours, whoever you believe in, created you to be great, and a lot of us are not living up to our greatness. Just, fact of the matter. A lot of us are living a comfortable, cool life, and for the people who were in California and any other place where people who had their hurricanes over in North Carolina, Atlanta, Florida, people who lost houses, business, and jobs and stuff like that, guys. I'm gonna just say right now, a lot of those people, in these moments, are reflecting on everything. And I'm just telling you, a lot of those people have been offered opportunities. Okay. And so when I look at, this, conversation we're gonna have here today, guys, it's coming from a place of empathy, not sympathy, empathy. I feel for everybody who went through, who are going through, and like I said, people who are still fighting to save, what they have left from the fires that are going on right now. But right now, you got a lot of people out there fighting economic fires. You got a lot of people out there who need something, and quite frankly, we're firefighters. Quite frankly, right now, we are people who are out here in these streets, in the trenches, on social media, fighting for people to have a better life. And so, but the only thing that we can do is bring the message to you. We can't make you do a thing. Only thing we're going to do is our job, which is educate you guys and give you the best of what we can give you. And at that point in time, you make an educated decision. And whether it be educated yes or educated no, that's none of our business. We just wanted to be educated. Okay? And so you know what you're saying yes to, or that you know what you're saying no to, and we're happy with that because we at that point in time can sleep easy. Okay? And so when I look at people like Warren Buffett, I call them fortune tellers. These people are, very, very successful for a reason. They can see the future. They understand money projections and everything like that. So when people like this talk, guys, I'm gonna just tell you, I listen. I study, right, and I model and mimic, right. And so when I heard that, Warren Buffett was investing $10 billion into clean energy and $10 billion into what we ask solar and things like that, projects, clean energy projects. And this was brought to me after I figured that out. I heard that. I'm like, I'm in alignment. Yeah. Then here you go. Almost a year later, President-elect brings in, a new guy to run DOGE, the Department of Government Energy and Efficiency. Basically, he brought in Elon Musk, Mr. Solar himself, right? And you got a lot of people who have opinions on what's going to happen and what may or may not happen after the fires. But one thing I do understand is this: solar is going nowhere and going nowhere fast. He just went through all of that stuff. And I'm here to tell you that, when you follow the money, you follow the experts, the people who are the experts, they're doubling down on solar, on clean energy. And, I'm just telling you right now, you should do the same. Okay. If he put $10 billion down and invested that type of money, you should find $100, $1,000, 2,000, 10, whatever you can afford to invest wisely, and some that you don't need, and put something in energy, put something in clean energy. Find you a advisor, find you a consultant, but start thinking for your future, because everybody who lives for today, they'll find out that tomorrow they can wake up in a bad position. Okay. That poor planning is a problem for people who are, in a situation where they end up in poverty situations. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and move on. A compensation plan, guys, for what Idris talked to you guys about. This is amazing. The company is very generous. They pay you 7 different ways, and when you look at people who are looking for opportunities, they're all looking for different things because they're different people. Okay? When you look at what we have to offer, we have something for the full spectrum of individuals. People who are just looking for something that'll get them out of a car from driving for Uber, or people who will get them from doing DoorDash or whatever it is that they're doing. They're looking for something that will take those other, 20 or 30 hours a week that they're giving those companies, and they'll be able to make more money on a part-time basis without recruiting and without it being network marketing. They just want to be home with their families, right? And so we have something for you. You can literally make a 6-figure annual income on a part-time basis. These just showed you that you can make $6,000 to $10,000 per transaction, right? And again, people are doing that on a regular basis. Then you have people who are, the ambitious individuals out there. They understand what money looks like. They understand that right now, I could build a sales force, I can build a brokerage, and I can turn around and make as much money as I can or as I desire, right? And then I can empower others to do the same exact thing. So we have that for you as well. So when I say legitimate career and business opportunities, guys, that's what we have it for you. And when you look at these numbers, I want to be sure I'm a little bit detailed with these numbers. And I'm gonna keep it real simple, because I don't want you to miss, the power and the impact and its simplicity, or the generosity. The company, guys, will pay you. You pay you 70% on the commissions that are coming from that sale. So I'm gonna give you an example, and follow me with this. And I'm gonna keep the examples at the $10,000 commission rate. The company pays out 70% to you being the person who originated the deal and the person who closed the deal. Okay. If you originate and close, you get the whole entire commission on your own. Okay. But 70% of 10,000 is 7,000. Okay. Now, $3,000 is left. Basically, 30% is left. Guess what? Half of that, which is 1,500, goes to the company. The other half goes to the actual people who own the brokerages, the people who are actually running the sales forces, right? And guess what? When I look at all of the companies that are out there, guys, most of the companies out there, when I say they won't do a deal, or if they do a deal where the commission is going to be less than $4,000, you may not make any money on that deal, because most of those companies, they have it set up to where they won't make any less than $4,000 to $5,000 a deal. We won't make any less than $1,500 a deal as a company. Again, that's extremely generous. Okay? And so again, keep that in mind. Now, when I say simplicity, making money with us, guys, and making significant, serious money with us is as simple as 1, 2, 3. Your job is, one, pique a person's interest. Ask an individual, hey, I know you own the house, right? But do you get paid, I'm sorry, do you own the energy that powers your home? No. Well, great. Anybody ever talk to you about owning the energy that powers your home? No. Great. Well, let me give you some benefits. Then you give them all the benefits that Idris gave you earlier. Okay. 2, you get the bill when they want to ask more questions. So, okay, well, great. I'm not the expert. I just opened up a solar division. It's part of my company, but I have experts for that. And so the experts are going to go over this with you. Okay. So once you get that bill, 3, you set the appointment with the expert, and then you get out of the way. They pick it up from there. So all you're doing is finding someone who wants solar and allowing the expert to clock in for you. Okay. This is not corporate America where you have to do everything yourself to get paid, right? This is what we do. This is why we're growing so fast as a company, guys. Now, when you look at the person who's going to pick up the baton and run with it, the person who's going to now go to work for you and do the presentation with the homeowner for you on your behalf, we call them mentors. And we call them mentors because they teach. They don't just teach you, the person who brought the deal to the table. They're also teaching the homeowner. They're educating the homeowner on what solar means to them, the environment, their family, and everything else going forward. They're showing the homeowner, what solar panels look like on their roof it's on an AI generated picture that they created for them, right? They're showing them the financing options. They're talking about what it looks like when it comes to, the tax refund or tax, impact implications on it. They're going through everything that you don't have to. But if you're a great student, you can sit there on each and every last one of those presentations and learn, guys. And guess what? Once you've done 3, you can now do deals on your own without being a mentor. Okay? You can now do deals on your own. But to do 3, once you close 5 sales, guys, on your own, yeah, you complete the company certification, and now you can actually do deals for everybody. And when I say everybody, we do business in 38 states. And guys, I'm just telling you right now, you can do business in any of those states because we're going to vouch for you at that point in time. Now, there are people in the company who want to be a mentor. They see that's where the money is at. They see that they want to go out there and have deals come to them, right? Well, let's say you have 4 people who want to become a mentor. They have to bring 3 deals to the table as well. That's 12 deals per person. If you do that every month, guys, that's $42,000 a month. That's $500,000 a year. Okay. Now, when I look at Zig Ziglar, one of my favorites, he had a quote that says, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want." Basically, guys, if you put everybody else's family first, okay, your family will never ever be last. Your family will never ever be left wanting. You'll always have, monies coming in for you because of your investments in others. And this is where we do that at, guys. This is where we allow a person to become a brokerage. And I want to liken this to, without complicating it, okay? If you have a house, you bought it from a real estate agent who was tied to a real estate broker. Okay, that house got financed through a loan officer who was tied to a mortgage broker, right? The insurance, policy that's on that house was bought by an insurance agent, right? That is tied to an insurance broker. As everybody wants to be a broker. Here, you can be a broker without having all of the liability that comes with it. As I'm gonna just tell you, there's no extra testing to build a sales force or to become a broker, but there is extra money. And so as you can see here, look at this chart, guys. You get overrides 20% all the way up to 45% on the salespeople who you bring to the company. And guess what? You don't even have to train them. Okay? The company will train them for you. If you're not qualified, all you want to do is be a bush shaker, and all you want to do is run ads and bring people to the company, guys. We'll help you build your sales force. We'll train them, equip them, and all you do is get the overrides, right? You're the founder of the feast now. Now, guess what? They get the same opportunity that you get. They get to build a brokerage as well, right? And so now they have a high ticket brokerage just like you. And now, guess what? They override their people just like you do. But guess what? That person is also in your umbrella and your scope of business, guys, that you cover everything from top to bottom. The company's going to pay you anywhere from 10% all the way to 25% on people down at infinite levels who do deals with you. So when you look at this business model, guys, there's not another business model out there. When I say this is the best time, in my life, that people can do business here. And when I say and go global, worldwide, fun, fast, free, and not have any boundaries, but also not being a company that has just one product or a product that everybody has, as there's nothing out there like this. And by the time somebody that starts to do what we do, we'll be so far ahead. It'll be like Burger King to McDonald's. It's just a real big gap. So again, the company pays extremely well. Let me show you how well they pay for people who build sales forces. Okay, so let's just say you are now a manager because you have 10 deals being done in your organization. Okay, and 10 people do one deal, 4 of them are direct to you, 6 of them anywhere in your team, that's $6,300. Now, those overrides coupled with you doing one deal, both sides of the deal, remember? Because once you did 3, you can do both sides of the deal. And $7,000 was the example that we gave you. That's $13,300 in earnings, guys, per that month. Now you do that every month. Everybody does one, right? Every month. Again, if not more, you're still making $13,000 a month, $150,000 a year. They start to do 2 each. Now you see what happens, right? You're looking at $250,000, a year, okay, $20,000 a month. So it pays to, help other people out, right? And so when I look at, the way people did business in the past and the way people are doing business now in the future, guys, there is no comparison. One is working smarter while the other one's working harder. One was brick and mortar while this one is click and order. Guys, when you go from brick and mortar to click and order, you actually lose all of the expenses and overheads that it takes for you to go to business. See, all this stuff that you see here would cost a person anywhere from 150 grand to maybe $250, $300,000 to open up their own company, right? And you're going to have to pay for 100% of all of that. So us guys, it $200, right? And when I say $200, guys, I have access to sell 100% of everything that we offer. And guess what? I get 100% of everything that you see there without having to pay for it, right? My monthly overhead would be $99. And I say would be, and I'll show you why it's not, but it would be $99 a month, right? The overhead for a person who owns a solar brokerage, the overhead somewhere between 25 to 50 grand on the low end, right? And I'm just telling you, there's no comparison. And I can do as many, if not more, transactions per month with my sales team than they can in their company. Their company, most companies out there are relegated to just one city, one state, one county, 2, 3 states, maybe. Guys, we're in 38 states. I can do business in 38 states with 4 different companies. I own 4 different businesses under one brokerage for $200. You hear me talking about solar. Don't forget water. Don't forget security. And don't forget financial services. Okay. This is why I came out of retirement. Okay, because it makes dollars and cents. This is a real big deal for a lot of people, guys, and I didn't want to miss it. I don't want you to miss it. So I don't want you to think because it's so inexpensive or because someone who you may not have a high level of respect for, based on their economic prowess or their position financially in life. I'm gonna just say right now, that would be a really bad move, if that was what happened. The person who introduced me to this company is a sweetheart, not rich, not wealthy, but I trust her. And I looked at this company based on my trust for her. And guess what she did? She put me on the phone with 2 experts. She put me on the phone with Hans Pettit-Homey, and she also put me on the phone with JC Rangel, the president of the company and partner of the company. And guess what? I got all of my questions answered. And I suggest you do the same exact thing because, again, you have people who understand exactly what we have our hands on, and your friends or your family members may not be able to articulate that. Don't hold that against them because, again, if you do, they don't have to pay for it. They're already in. Okay? You will pay for it based on what you get to miss. And so for a person who wants to have a career in sales, you don't want to recruit anybody. You just basically want to go out there and make as much money as you want on your own effort, on your own merit. You want to eat what you kill, guys? Great. The consultants is a career pack. It's $149 a month. So all the other stuff that you would go through, testing, licensing, and everything else for insurance, real estate, broker, and mortgages and stuff like that, you don't have to do any of that here. It's far less expensive. That's why far more people are joining us than they are those things now. Okay, I had people who are with us from eXp Realty, all different type of real estate brokerages. Guess what? They didn't leave the real estate brokerages. They just added this to their portfolios. They just added this to their offerings, right? You don't have to quit your job. You just add this to your offerings, right? You just say, I just do this on a part-time basis. This is my gig. And now the builder, the business broker pack, that's $199. Now, $99 a month. Remember I said I don't pay the $99 a month. It's because I have more than 4 people who have joined my brokerage. And when that happens, the $49 goes away as well as the $99 goes away as well. So I haven't had overhead, guys, ever. Okay. I only invested $199 in this company, and I'm going to show you how I've been in profit since day one, before I made my first dollar in recruiting, right? So this is what happens when you get the business brokerage, right? I'm going to show you the benefits that come with that because, membership does have its privileges. So when you look at Smart Money Club, guys, there's always an opposite of one. So if you look at Smart Money, guys, guess what the opposite of smart money is? Dumb money. Okay? And when I say dumb money, let me share with you what dumb money is. Let me share with you what a person with a low economic IQ is, right? Because when you have one job and you have the capabilities to go out there and do more things and you choose not to, and you're living check to check and month to month, that means that you have a low academic IQ. Okay. You may be, low economic IQ. You may be academically a genius, but economically, again, you're not. And this is the problem with people who make money who don't understand money. They make money, but they don't speak the language of economics, right? They make money, but they don't know how to scale it. They don't know how to, diversify with it. They don't know how to make the money go to work for them and how to put themselves in a position where they can create a legacy around their money. That's what this does. As we hear every day with NFL players, NBA players, they go and make $100 million, $50 million, and they have all this money that they make from these contracts, guys. But guess what? They don't know what to do with the money, so it goes away one day. And so now, again, it's because they didn't understand how important the credit was, how to build it up, how to use the credit, with the difference between smart and bad debt. They didn't understand tax planning, how to put the taxes in a position where, they benefit you, not go against you. They didn't understand how, how you can actually have an insurance policy that will let you build up capital and let you borrow against it and still make money on the money that you borrowed against. They don't understand any of those things. And we're going to teach you all of those things. At least you'll have access to them all. Okay? And the cool part about it is your family will have access to it too, because you're a part of our system. So personal and business, the Smart Money Club, guys, again, this is what sets you aside from others. Okay. Remember, I was one of the poorest people on the planet. Okay. I was born into that. That wasn't a choice. But as an adult, I became one of the most learned people on the planet. I became one of the people who sat at the feet of wealthy people, and they taught me a lot of this stuff that you guys are going to basically get for free. I went to seminars where, I spent $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 at seminars to get a lot of the stuff that some of you guys are going to get basically for free, or $99 a month. Either way, don't overlook this information, because it's so inexpensive. This part of the presentation is probably the most impactful and the most necessary. Because like I said, when I went through hard times, guys, and I basically, built a residual income that from coffee, guys, when COVID hit, this is what I want you to say. I'm talking from experience. When COVID hit, right, I was like you, couldn't go anywhere, didn't want to go anywhere, right? But the one thing that I, was proud about as a man, my family actually was taken care of. We were making 40 grand to 50 grand a month in residual reoccurring income based on coffee sales that we did prior to. So while other people were trying to figure out how to keep the house out of foreclosure, how to keep the cars from being repossessed, how not to go through divorces and stuff like that because of money, guys, we were having fun. We were on the lake on boats. We were basically, in the school and in the streets riding bikes. We were basically doing whatever we wanted to do in the comfort of our own home, but without the stress of finances. We weren't the only ones, guys. Again, there are people who don't have bad lives financially because they made good decisions economically. I'm just telling you, this would be one of the best ones here. Now, there is a lifestyle side to this, and this lifestyle side gives you memberships from restaurants, retailers, and travel providers. And this is where, again, this is the stuff that you already do. When I say I saved money before I made a dime in the company, guys, from the compensation plan, I saved $28 a night at the Venetian, 5 nights, right? $140 I saved in Vegas by going to the Venetian through this plan. I saved $36 a night, 6 nights, right? I'm sorry, $31 a night, 6 nights in California at the Hilton LAX, $186 for that trip. And so you see it's over $320 right there between those two. I only paid $199 to get started. again, rich and wealthy people understand that savings is the new earnings, guys. And a lot of the things that we're being taught that people won't share with you, we're going to give you that information if you are a part of our company. Like I said, membership has privileges, and one of those privileges is access to wealth creating information. Now, when I look at the residual income side, and I'll wrap this thing up here, okay, I need you to pay real close attention. Don't pay so much attention to how this works. Okay, I need you, to look at what it could do for you, because some of you have questions that you can answer that you haven't asked yourself the questions because you don't have an answer for it. Like, how much money do you need right now to breathe, right, per month? Because I already know, based on the numbers, that the average person is about $1,000 a month away from going to bankruptcy. I already understand that most people don't have reserves, they don't have savings, and since they don't have reserves and savings, a lot of those people don't have insurance. And so one bad thing, one bad auto accident, one bad car breakdown, whatever it is, can bankrupt the household, right? And so we'll show you with simplicity, guys, how to get to $1,000 a month in the first 30 days. I can show you how to get to $4,000 a month in the first 60 to 90 days. Okay. But the cool part about this is that me knowing the numbers, I already understand that if you put about $4,000 a month extra in a person's income, I'm not even talking about being rich. I'm just saying, if you turn around and you say, hey, I'm going to help you make $4,000 a month, you're going to take $2,000 of that and you're going to get yourself out of debt, right? You'll take $1,000 of that or $2,000 of that, and guess what you do? 1,000 will be in savings and 1,000 will be in living. Okay? And once you get out of debt with the $2,000 a month, guess what you'll do? You'll now take the 2,000 and put it into savings, and which, when I say savings, high interest earning, yielding annual returns, and then you'll take the other $2,000 and you'll live on it per month, like extra. Have a lifestyle. You can start to breathe again. You can travel again. You can shop again. And guess what? You won't have to worry about going in debt doing it, because this is extra money. That's 50 grand a year that you don't have to work for, because it's smart money. Okay. I'm just want to share with you guys. I'm here to give you hope. Yeah, I'm here to give you a blueprint and here to give you a way out, or a way up. A lot of people here on this call, you're not here because you need it. You're here because you want to see what we have our hands on, and it makes sense to you because you understand money. Others, I need you to have an open mind. As they say, open mind is like a parachute. It only works well when it's open. And a lot of people who don't open those parachutes, they perish, and they crash and burn, and it's not pretty. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do right now is I want to make sure you guys turn around, and put yourself in a position where you make your own investments. Your $199 to get your business broker pack. You go back and tell the person who basically invited you to this call tonight, one, that you appreciate them, for doing this, because they didn't have to tell you about it. Two, again, we're going to help you with your game plan. We'll set the game plan up for you. We'll walk you through the process on how to, get the money, that you need from a residual and a sales perspective, right? And then also, put yourself in a position where you give yourself, 18 months to 2 years, and of just, working with us on a part-time basis, so you can take the rest of your life off. And so those are my, not my promises, but those are my desires for you. I really want to help you guys get goals, but I also want to get you guys in a position where if anything was to ever happen to you, anything life-changing that's without your doing, something that you didn't expect and something you can't control happens to you, you shouldn't be a statistic. Okay, you should be somebody who should be prepared. As Will Smith says, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And guys, I'm gonna just tell you right now, BYLD is ready to be, that life preserver for some, and that yacht for others. So love you guys. If you need anything, you know where to find us. Get back with the person that invited you, and we'll see you guys at the top. We'll see you guys at the bank, and we'll see you guys on the beach. Y'all have a great one. Good night.